would like to call to order our July board meeting at 6:10 on July 6th. Mr. Kemper, would you mind setting the open prayer?
Father, thank you for this day, Lord. Lord, I just pray that you watch over us as board members decide this city stuff, Lord. And Lord, I just pray that you will let us have a good meeting tonight, Lord, and let us just get through everything that we need to get through tonight. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman Thompson, here.
Eventually I'm here.
Alderman Kemper.
Here.
Alderman Wicker.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Vice
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
I'll make the motion.
And a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Have you had a chance to look over our June 8th open session meeting minutes? Anybody?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then same with the June 8th closed session.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor on that?
Aye.
Aye.
And then our June 25th special open session for the budget meeting on the sidewalks issue.
I motion for it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now told me the whole thing would go that fast. All right. At this time, we move to open forum. All citizens wishing to address the Board of Aldermen will be given an opportunity to do so at this time. Please limit your remarks to no more than 5 minutes. If there is conversation, we can add a few minutes onto that. Any item presented that requires action will be taken into consideration and placed as an agenda item to be resolved if possible at the next council meeting. Some things can also be resolved at this time. Is there anyone that would like to come? And I believe you've already signed in. Chief is working ahead.
Almost half for next week, Chris, so I'll let you start it off and I'll explain what we got going on.
I think everybody knows I'm working on a little subdivision behind Dollar General, trying to extend that through there. Working on cutting a road that would run all the way, what's the road behind the church?
West Maple
From
Street.
Maple, pretty much all the way to Level Right. One issue we got and we kind of been dealing with is there's 2 sewer lines that runs across the property there, both on an angle, which really cuts up the piece of property and limits the number of lots that can run down through there. It's hard for you to tell by the photo that you got. One of them is on top of the hill. The city has done an improvement to route all the sewage to the bottom of the hill to the drain with a larger piece of pipe. The one that I would like to see us vacate is a smaller line that has been there, was the original line that runs there on top of the hill. So, the one that he has circled there that cuts across the property there on the angle is the old line that I'm asking to vacate.
So what we got going on here, guys, there's 330 feet between manholes there. That was the original, like Chris stated, that was the original line before the 15 was added, this line above it. That was the original sewer line that brought everything from the east side of town. All right. Now that everything routes to that 15, 15, and by everything, I mean 95% probably. I mean, if I've yet to see those lines completely full, but, everything, it's just a carryover from the old line. It was never removed. I think at one point in time, they may have discussed it, Dale, I don't know if you were on the board then or not, it was before my time. But they discussed, getting rid of that. So, couple things to keep in mind, 330 feet, it's 8-inch clay pipe. And clay pipes, every 3 feet, we've got a section. So, that's 110 potential I&I leaks that we may or may not have. We've never had a camera down that.
There's 110 places where roots can get in.
Yeah, roots can get in and everything like that, because even in the heavy rains we had a couple weeks ago, I was out there checking those manholes that are in that circle, where they come and they go up right here. I was checking those manholes and there wasn't anything going through that 8. So essentially, it's just there because it was never taken out. I'm not the engineer, I'm not the one that gets to make all of those decisions. The only thing it does, it could potentially hold 600 gallons if it was completely full. But like I stated, I haven't seen those lines full since I've been around. We get closer to the lagoon, that's a different story, but up here where these are at, I haven't seen any issues with it. So Chris reached out to me, a month ago, probably, when we were doing the budget stuff. I put him off that meeting, said, hey, let's get through the budget and everything, new year, and then he can come in, chat with you guys, see where we're at on it, so.
How deep is that road to there?
The east end, so the one that'd be on the right, it's 5'6", I think, and on the left side, it's about 4'9", for the elevation of manholes.
Blocking that off wouldn't impede any service
No.
upstream?
No, and it's hard to see on the print out there, but the flow comes in here and comes this way and then this way.
What about this over here?
So this comes down Maple Street, comes down here to this, and then comes this way.
Right there, right there.
Yep, because we're actually in our wastewater project, we're proposing going from here to this manhole here to try to take some pressure off of the 8 that's back there on the backside. There's only about a dozen houses on this that come from this way here. We do pick up Jefferson and Maple here, but the flow in that little section there, that 330 feet, is not.
And if we get to a severe overflow situation anyway, 600 gallons isn't going to help us out much at all.
And the elevation, I should have put that on here, and I apologize for that. The elevation is significant between those two lines, between the one that's circled and the other one. I think this one's probably 8-10 feet maybe in elevation higher than the big one that it runs down to, which runs above it.
And is there any requirement that if we abandon it, it has to be removed or not? If it just
Nothing.
lay there, that's the reason I want to know how deep it was.
Correct, yeah. So
And
we'll,
with your permission, my thinking was, the likelihood of me even getting into it is not very good.
That deep.
Just leave it, and then if we should happen to have any trouble, or I get into it, then I would go up to the manhole and block it off, and that line would be vacant then. But until we have problems, I don't see no reason to actually
Kick it out.
get rid of it.
it's just they're discouraged from building any permanent structure on any of the lines.
It's active, right?
Correct, yeah.
They don't want your thoughts anymore.
I don't like the idea at all. I mean, that's our main line. I mean, you're talking about swinging that flow around and turning it over 100.
That flow already goes around. That's not the main line anymore.
That's the
This circle, it's actually lower, so
But what we're using that though, is we're using that on overflow right now.
I've never seen any substantial flow in it as an overflow.
Back over on my property, it's been
But
every
your,
bit full.
but your property feeds from this line here.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It comes right through here.
It does. It comes right through here, and then it comes this way. And then, you mean your property here?
Yes.
I thought you meant your property over here in the trees.
No.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
I mean, my first reaction is no, but, I mean, I wanna be, cooperative here as much as possible. How's this gonna affect you, Chris? I mean,
Well, let me show you.
show me how this is really impacting your housing plan.
Well, the issue is, way back when, they just run these lines at an angle across all these properties. Nothing was ever done on 90 degrees,
Yeah, well,
obviously.
they're basically just going with slope and drain.
Right, so when it cut, I've got two lines that run across this property, both on an angle. So as you're plotting this out, all these lots down through here, if I have to allow for this, then
You lose two.
I lose lots and it makes them odd shape, different sizes. This one here runs with that drainage ditch. It's in the ditch itself. So there's a manhole here and a 15
I'm
inch.
sorry, I'm still trying to get my bearings. You're showing me, that's north,
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, this actually goes this way.
Yeah,
This is the one we're gonna take care
okay.
of.
And
So
now-
there's a manhole here.
Right,
a
and this
manhole
is
here.
running up to the 15,
Mhm.
so you've got, basically, this lot really is not impacted.
Well, these are just stamped on here. These aren't actually drawn until we figure this out. These aren't actually drawn to size. I'm gonna have to resize. If this stays, I've gotta resize all of these.
Well, can you not move that back to where that just swings, you know what I'm saying, move this north line of this lot back so you're kind of splitting it on both? I mean, it wouldn't impact the house itself, I don't think, would it?
Depends on how far back. the
Yeah,
house is.
well, all the, these would be squares, so I mean, I couldn't build a house.
But if you move this line here, this way, you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna impact it going across like that. And then that line would more, I assume that's what you're saying, you're gonna adjust these lines, right?
Yeah, all these lots would be
So
adjusted
this is
according to
just
what these are.
somebody's hypothetical thought.
Yes, yeah, we're just stamping lots on there.
So, right now, it's one lot and two lots.
Yes, it would cut the corner off of this one as well. Yeah.
So, is this your street I'm looking at?
Yes. Yeah, we come through here, Mr. Riverback and Martin's house. So you come and go around the great big pine trees that are here and swing, and then there'd be lots just on this one side of the road on this side.
I mean, this is a separate issue. Are you not concerned about flooding on this?
We're putting a retention pond right here. We're either gonna put it here, and I've talked to Dawn about putting one right here on his place, so.
I'm just gonna say, I've seen all that underwater before. Okay.
There hasn't been any
I would,
flooding. As much rain we've had this year, I haven't seen that.
my opinion at this point is, let's talk with our engineers. I mean, we're not engineers, and there's probably something here that we need to consider rather than making a move right now. But I would, how quickly do you, I know you probably already wanted to move it a month ago, but how quickly could we get a hold of?
We would have to pay our engineers to do anything, because that's not our project, so we wouldn't have any.
It's not our project, what do you mean?
It's not one of our current projects, because
It's,
it's not part of our.
it's not in the
work.
scope of work for the wastewater.
I
stuff,
understand, but don't you think they owe us a little bit of a favor? I mean,
Hey,
come on, guys.
common sense, yes, I would say so, but I wouldn't
We're
put it
looking
past
at
them.
3 projects with them right now, right across the fence.
Mhm.
You don't think that they couldn't give us a 15-minute overlook here? I mean, come on.
We get ASK?
Yeah, worst thing they can say is no, you know, I mean.
I mean, okay, I mean, I'm just saying, dealing with the crap that we've been putting up with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, and that's where I'm at on it, they should
This
be
is
able
not-
to do
This
that.
has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, they absolutely should be able to look at it and be like, oh, yeah, this
Well,
is.
I mean, I'd like to have somebody with some engineering degree look at that and say, oh, by the way, you might consider this before we make a move to abandon the line. Does that not sound reasonable?
Mhm.
Just again, other projects there in that area that it's done the fact that you would be working on while we're waiting on this?
He knows
Oh,
what
yeah.
ties to make the
But,
lots.
everything's kinda on standby, so they can figure out the lot sizes and.
Well, the street probably is the most critical, isn't it? Cutting that street in there.
Well, and getting the plot finished, I mean, we gotta break it into lots and get the plot finished. It kinda all happens at once, they do the water, the sewer, and the street, and the lots, and the work, so we've kinda been on standby waiting for this. I understand your concern, but, and I'm not an engineer either, but we have pulled the lids off after heavy rains, and we've been checking it the last month,
I mean,
and there has not been a lot of flow in it, but I understand your concerns too, so.
What was the other, you said something about the possible, can't remember the three initials,
The I and I?
yeah, the I, which is one of the things we've been trying to get done.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just getting 330 feet of clay pipe, you know. We could seal off the ends of it and that'd be that.
Nick, that is a 15-inch line that heads north, down the hill, correct, as well? Or is that an 8?
No, it's an 8.
8 turns
It
into a
8,
15.
and then, yeah, when it gets to the bottom by the creek, it becomes a 15 all the way out. Yeah, yeah, it makes that corner there in that manhole, I believe is an
I
8.
would say it's more than a 90.
No, actually, it is a 15.
I was thinking that it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, there's the,
You're talking about right here.
yep. There's
So this is 15 from here
Yep,
to here.
yep, it's 15 there, and then 15 all that way. But we can shoot them an email in the morning and see what they
You
think.
know, it might all just be fine,
Mhm.
but I think it's prudent to get somebody with
If I remember right,
an engineering degree. to look
when
at
all
it.
that was going on, that was gonna be abandoned when we got that new line around there. And then we talked about leaving it for an overflow, but it's not overflowing.
Well, there's lines hooked to it down line though.
Well, we're not taking the whole thing, just abandoning
Yeah,
it.
just-
that
Because
other part
everything down
that's
line
dry,
is still there.
And will still be active.
The two that you did, and then Don's and his other two there, they're still on that line in the church, and a couple off of West Market are on that same line, running that way.
We're just shortening it up and taking it
So
also
the,
like we're.
so the street would go over
supposed to
that pipe, right? Is that what we're talking
Well,
about?
the street will go over it regardless, yes. Yeah, it's gonna go over it regardless. It has to do with his spacing on there, whether it allows 2 more houses or 3 more houses, or however it all lays out. But-
You know, I'm not trying to talk anything, but just so you, I mean, that you know, the sewer comes in on this side, running west, and there's a manhole right here at the top of this.
I'm the north south.
This is
guy.
Maple Street behind the
Yes.
church.
Yeah.
So there's a manhole right here at the top of this. The natural flow of the sewer comes into this one.
Yes,
This is a 15-inch line that you guys added.
right,
This is just an 8.
I understand.
So it comes into this manhole, and the natural flow of the sewer, this really flows downhill a bunch. And this is kind of deep gully down through here. So you have a 15-inch line that flows down to this, and then here's the new main sewer line that's 15 inches, and this one's 15 inches. So
So it just turns the corner and goes.
what my proposal is just to lose it from here to here. The houses that are here, that you guys have built, still would use this sewer as it continues on here. I'm just talking about vacating this one certain section here.
Do we think we can get, who are we talking about, Owen?
Yeah, it'd be,
To look at it this week? I mean, what's the chances of that happening?
I don't know what their schedule is. I mean, we can,
I mean, I hate putting it off for a month.
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we could cut this down just for a week or 2 weeks at
Mhm.
most.
And I'm sure they get somebody to come out and look at
I
it,
didn't
but,
think so. Like I said, they've got to owe us some favors. I mean, I'm telling you, the stuff that I've been seeing is,
Since I will be gone from next Sunday for a couple Sundays, or through a couple of Sundays, would there be can you make a motion that says if our engineers think it's doable bypass, then you guys will go ahead and approve that. If they say it's not, then we can,
We could approve it at the next meeting, but that wouldn't impede what he's doing. He's
Oh,
just
no,
drawing.
but it would allow him to go forward.
That's what I'm saying, if they say it's an okay thing, and that's the only caveat that, you know,
That's what I was saying.
we wanna hear back from the engineer, then we can go ahead and let Chris know that, hey, you can go ahead and start your drawing, and then at the next month's meeting, then we can approve everything officially.
Up to you guys.
But yeah, it's however everyone wants to play, cause you're gonna be gone for a couple of weeks, Paul, is that right? Yeah.
Will that work for you,
Yeah,
Chris?
it'll be fun.
And as soon as I hear something, I'll reach out to you guys and let you know what the deal is, however we wanna do it, so. Just to see what they say.
Well, not that I have a lot of faith in them, they're the best we've got.
Yeah.
Who would you use, by the way?
Who do I use? Jason Eckhart's his name, out of Carthage, and I highly recommend him.
What's his name?
Jason Eckhart.
Eckhart?
Mhm. Used to be with Anderson a long time
Yep,
ago.
yep, he's broke off and started his own.
Yeah.
He's also brought a surveyor in, and it's gonna be kind of a one-stop shop there.
Well, we may be in this market.
And he is very interested,
Yeah,
if you guys
yeah,
are
he's
interested in
reached out a
switching.
couple of times, but I was kinda waiting till,
You'd be shocked at what we've been looking at.
I'll make that motion to do what we just said, if you can get it all down.
I like how you worded that.
What's the address for that? What can I put down?
You can put 409 West Maple. That's Rebecca Martin's address, that's the closest address we have on file for West Maple in that location.
I'll second the motion.
Can you read the motion, Amy?
Yeah, give me 1 second while I
Okay.
finish it, please. Okay, so we might want to tag something on the end of this bill. As a motion was made by Alderman G. Wicker to approve the vacate of the abandoned sewer line on 409 West Maple if the city engineer's own approves to do so.
And I can get you, if you want specific
Strike
manhole
abandoned,
numbers.
because it's not abandoned.
Okay. Did everything else sound right? Or do you want to switch
Read
it?
it, if you would, go over it again.
Motion was made by Alderman G. Wicker to approve the vacate of the sewer line at 409 West Maple if the city engineer's own approves to do so.
Can we change approves to seasonal problem with,
So it's what?
something like seasonal problem? with doing so.
Do we have manhole numbers that we
Yeah,
can put in?
yeah, I've got those now, whenever you're ready, Amy.
Just, and who seconded that? I, Amy.
Amy did.
I'm ready.
Okay, manhole 9A through manhole 9, approximately 330 feet.
Okay.
Was that, the first one there, was that a doghouse?
Mm-hmm.
So they put that manhole in when they did the 15 line?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So is it a drop?
It's not a drop, what they did is, there's two back to back, there's a manhole to manhole, the old existing manhole is
That's
here.
right, I remember
They
that.
put the new one in here, and it's not really a drop, but the top of the 15 is about an inch above the bottom of the 8. So it's lower in the manhole itself,
Mhm.
but, yeah, so it just, and it's molded into the bottom of it that way.
I think Anderson did that.
Yeah, Anderson's the one that did that stuff, I believe. So,
Like I said, if they don't have any problem with it, I propose that we just leave the thing in there. Likelihood of me even getting into it, or we have any trouble out of it, probably not likely, but you never know, so.
What's that gonna do with your easement issues on your houses? I mean, wherever we got a line, we've got an easement. Now, if we officially abandon it, do we
If-
abandon our easement as well?
if vacate that specific line, there wouldn't be a utility easement there. Because
I mean, are they-
essentially,
I've never done that.
yeah,
Are they
essentially, we
tied
would be,
together?
yeah, there, well, it would just be between 9A and 9.
I
Yeah.
understand, but I mean, do we have to do a separate ordinance to
I wouldn't think so.
do
I
both?
wouldn't think so, because if we're vacating that, I wouldn't see that we would need one, but if it is approved, we can add it to the ordinance of the vacancy of utility easement. If it does, you know, if they
If
see.
you guys see something, give us a heads up, because I just, like I said, I don't have a lot of confidence in these guys.
Well, and I'm not wanting to do anything that's gonna cause any issues. I mean, I live here
Yeah.
and I'm here all the time, so.
We'd
you know,
appreciate if your guy sees something that says, hey, you know, maybe you ought to look at doing this, we'd appreciate it.
Cause they'll come knocking at your door.
What's that?
I said, they'll come knocking at your door, because that's what I saw. I was like, oh, that's the,
That is yes.
Yep.
That's close to home. Are we good on our, okay,
I need all in favor.
all right.
All in favor?
I'll send an email out in the morning and
See what we can
see,
get.
yeah, I'll rattle some pages on that, so.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
See you, Chris.
Is there any other, well, there's nobody left for the.
No, I'm going up for open. Not for me, I'll make it quick,
You're going
so
for him.
I handed out, some ordinances there. So Hazel Thomas across the street here, she has property at 309 and 401 West Market. The, trailer that burned, that's been there. Yep. Yeah, that's one I was just talking about. She reached out to me about getting water service to, there's two structures on that property. The burn trailer is on the east side. On the west side is a small, used to be a little massage building, but she rents it out. People stay in that. She had a former tenant that had ran a water line from the trailer to the little building because they didn't want to pay for two services. She didn't want that monthly bill, or he thought that they didn't need that monthly bill, whatever it was. So when he did that, it flooded the meter pit. He took it upon himself thinking that he could just turn it off, not knowing that there was no meter in the pit. And if you flip to the second page there, the third page,
I don't really want to.
it's first picture, but this is from 23 is when this happened. It'll be this photo here. So what he did is he twisted the stop all the way around. It was full of water. He reached down there and he just gave it heck and twisted all the way around backwards. So at that point in time, it was informed to Hazel and more specifically this tenant, Frank, that they weren't gonna have water at that property until they paid to fix this. And then the next picture is just a close-up after we got it all pumped out, what that setter looks like. I mean, it's cleaned all the way around. So, what she would like to do, since she owns, the property is one lot, there's two structures, two services. She would like to take the water meter from the burnt trailer and use that for the little building. Therefore bypassing having to pay to replace this at this time. And her tenant that is currently living there now can have running water. She wasn't able to come here tonight. I told her I would bring it to you guys. The other things in here, once you guys ask thoughts and opinions, I definitely hit Chief up first, but these are some of the restrictions and things we have in our ordinances pertaining to dangerous structures and, you know, one service per household type situation, so. The meter at the burnt trailer, that setter is okay. They would be responsible for going from that meter to the little building there, you know, with their plumber.
One of my thoughts was, is she gonna try to bring in another building later on again?
ever dealt with Hazel, it's hard to say, cause in the same 15-minute conversation I had, she told me they were gonna cut the back of the trailer off, frame it up, and someone was gonna live in the front half of the trailer. I don't agree with that, and I would recommend that she gets her 30-day notice, and if it's not made, you know, current by our ordinance in 30 days, then the city rents a dumpster, we demo the trailer, and then she gets the bill. What will probably happen is we'll end up owning that property at some point in time, the city will.
That's the same one over here, right?
We won't own that property, but we'll own that property down there. That's pretty much the only major eyesore on West Market down that way, so.
It was a year
and
in
a half.
January
Yeah.
when it burned.
Yeah, we're about a year and a half on that.
She's been talked to several times about having that cleaned up. She always has a plan.
Yep.
It never happens.
Back to the water situation.
Yes, sir.
What's your opinion? Can I ask you that?
Yeah, you know, right now, we're not getting anything off of it. I wouldn't be opposed to allowing her to hook up, you know, across the property to the other deal, because then at least we're getting, for minimal as it is, I don't know how long, but we'll get a base rate and we'll get a usage rate out of it. Where right now, we're not getting anything out of it. But they still have trash service, they still have access to their sewer, and we're not getting anything off of that now either.
So we get water and sewer.
Mhm.
Now, this picture you got on here,
Yes, sir.
that's the way it is right now.
Yeah, if
And
you go,
The damage is their fault.
yep,
Yes.
and at that time,
Why wouldn't we replace whatever belongs to the city there, add that on her bill?
and we could do that if it's up to you guys, if you wanna add it to, if you wanna add it to her first bill, or you wanna break it down. I think financially is the issue with
Well,
that.
yeah, that's
Cause
it.
I mean, that's gonna be probably about $400 for us to go in and do that.
Plus,
Just
getting
on the
it
low
back-
side.
Just getting it back from her whenever she's already having financial issues.
Yeah, there's some issues there. She's behind on all her diamond properties and taxes, so, August may be a tough time for her. so.
But am I wrong, at some point in time in the future, we're gonna have to do that anyway?
Not necessarily.
Maybe.
Yeah, and it depends on who gets the lot,
Right.
who builds a house on the lot, how it's configured.
There's already one good meter
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
So that one actually.
And
could be
just to-
abandoned.
As I said, that one could be totally abandoned.
Yeah, it's possible, it can just be carried off.
I will get you guys the lot so you can kind of see it. So this is the Newton County Assessor website.
The
This
working
is-
meter's kind of in the middle of those.
It's in the middle of both lots,
Lots,
yes.
So
So,
how's she gonna pay to have a plumber to even plumb it over to the other side?
I don't know.
If she can't
Well,
afford to
good garden
replace
hose
it.
on
So there's the property we're
So that's the one
discussing.
that burned.
That's the
what I
one that
was
burned,
thinking.
that's the
I
little
think the garden
building.
hose, I bet.
So her service for the trailer is right in front of the trailer, about where that yellow line is, and the service for this one is out here in the middle of that little island.
And that's all one lot.
Yep, that's one lot.
Okay.
So what she's wanting to do is to come from this one, come over here across it, because she right now has somebody staying in that little building.
Without water.
Without
When you
water,
say
yeah.
little building, are you talking like tiny house or a little bigger than a tiny house?
That's smaller than tiny
A
house.
shed.
It's a shed.
Yeah, it's a shed. It's about the size, it's half the size of your office.
No, it's a little bigger.
It was a hair
I've
shop.
been in it,
at
it's
one
little.
time. It's
Yeah,
tiny.
it's tiny. But yeah, so,
I wish we had an ordinance that we could keep that kind of stuff. The tiny houses.
So she's wanting permission to hook up
to the 309
to
address,
the
yes.
other meter.
Yep.
And
And,
underground, like you would normally.
yep, yep.
But-
That's what I was saying, water.
Let me back up. I mean, this damaged meter is already plumbed into the little building,
Correct.
so.
Well, it was. It
Until
was.
somebody tried to cheat.
Because I I don't know what's been done underneath that little building, because they dug and buried a PEX pipe from the trailer to the little building. That's what caused this. It was backfeeding through this and filled the meter pit up because we pulled the meter out of it. So they were trying to steal water from the trailer, is what was going on.
Yeah, so that line is still intact?
I don't know on their side, on the private side. I know there is not one between the trailer and the little building.
I'm just maybe too naive, but it looks to me like she's gonna spend X amount of money to do what she wants to do. Why don't you just fix this and be done with it?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
is that,
that's
am I
what-
missing something?
I bet you it's gonna cost this much.
This is how it was presented to me. It's not my job to try to tell them
Well, you
how to
know,
do their
unless
thing,
she's
but,
planning on running
Water
a
hose.
water hose.
well,
Yeah, that's what I'm working at too.
I was-
Or maybe that PEX line is what she's got in mind.
yeah, and it very well could be, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, on the private side of it, we don't have say-so other than lead and copper. That's pretty much what they're trying to have us push away from. But she can run a garden hose across the ground. That's not we don't have anything in our ordinance that says they can't.
That's true.
Well, I
You know what I mean?
don't understand, but.
Yeah, it would be, but again, that's on them, that's
Yeah,
their
I mean,
cost on it, but.
He's right, it's not really our call on that, but she's wanting service, let's just have her fix the meter they screwed up and call it good. And she can have her service.
Right.
I mean, whatever that is, $400 or $500.
And depending on how you guys wanna do it, it could be presented to her that it was, 3 installments or something added to the bill or something. Like I said, that's
Did she
however you
even
wanna do
pay
it. What's that?
Will she even pay the bill?
And if she won't have a meter, she won't.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll turn it on.
that's the thing. We can have her pay for it up front, or part of it up front, and.
Well, I think we get a third of it up front.
So, I would like to see attached to it something about removal of the debris and the burnout trailer.
Yeah, you may be too ambitious, though.
Well, as soon as she gets her 30-day notice, that's the gospel
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, I understand.
Myself included, because of the situation, she did have some health issues and she was going through some stuff, so I know I've talked to her unofficially and said, hey, you really need to move this direction and do something with this before they make you do something with it. I know Chief's probably talked to her as well.
A little more point blank than that, but
So at some point in time, she must have got a variance from our regulations, or the regulation came in after.
Came in after, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know the dates on those, when that happened. I don't know how long that's an old pit that's there.
What variance are you talking about?
Well, and this says they can only have 1 meter per.
Right, well, and at the time, there was 2 meters and 2 residents.
Yeah.
There's 2
On one-
addresses, yeah.
But on one lot.
Correct, yes, on one lot, and it doesn't say that we can't have that, just as long as it's,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, there was a house there once before.
Was
Yeah,
it?
and then there was a trailer on the east side as well, wasn't there? Another one between,
There actually were 2 there
Yeah.
at one time.
yeah, I was gonna say, I thought there was 2 trailers there, and then,
That little building you're talking about was a beauty,
yeah, it was a little beauty shop.
whatever you call
Yeah.
it, beauty shop. Then it did turn into the massage.
Mhm.
That's not funny, but,
So,
for whatever purpose, I would hold her feet to the fire and say, look, ma'am, we will work with you and do some installments, but you're gonna fix what you broke and
That's
use
what
that
I
as your
think.
service.
okay.
I mean, that would give her incentive to do it
Mhm.
and break it up into 3 installments or whatever, 4 installments. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Once she makes the effort.
Yeah. And then my next question, and this is my question for you guys, is, how do we wanna proceed with the trailer now that it's out in the open, and it's been in the open for a while, but you wanna give her, you wanna serve her with her 30-day notice? Do you wanna say, hey, look, you got 6 month, or not 6 months, you got 60 days to get rid of this, or we're doing it, or, I mean,
What have we done in the past on stuff?
typically, the ones that we've had issues with, they got a 30-day notice, and they either took care of it on their own, or we actually hired someone to do it, and then they took care of it on their own. I do know that, there's another property here on, South Washington. He was told as long as he made an effort towards taking care of it, everything was good, and he's kind of stalled out too, so it may be time to rattle some cages a little bit now that we're kind of getting back into a little bit of normalcy with city business, so.
Now that it's summer, it'd be prime time for them to get their stuff done.
Mhm.
Yes.
As long as it stops raining for more than 2 days.
But,
You can demolish in the rain.
yeah, and I don't have to have an answer for her on the trailer, I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention and see, because, I still think that's a big issue we need to address.
I think it would be best to hit it now, right? Do I make a motion?
That's fine with me, make a motion for a 30-day or something
Well,
on both
the
properties.
question is, do we wanna try to get her to hook up her water and sewer? I mean,
yeah,
this is
I
the
thought
case.
we already took care of that part.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're gonna basically tell her 30 days to do that,
Yeah,
it may not,
Then we should give her
she might be
another
like,
30 days.
okay, well, I'm not hooking up.
I'm giving up.
Yeah, so.
And the chances of somebody coming back in and doing two structure, somebody ended up with that, there's enough room, you could split it up in half, and you could have two.
You could do a duplex, there is something for
Mhm.
duplex.
Yeah.
If you guys would be, well, let's put this on next month's agenda to look at.
Yeah,
And in the meantime, we'll see if she's stepped up to the
See if
plate.
she wants to play or not.
yeah.
Okay.
And,
And if she does it, then that'd be the
Yeah,
one
well,
to move forward.
So just so we're clear, I'm gonna address her about fixing the, service at 401 West Market, which is the little building. And then if financially she needs a little bit of leeway on it, then we can figure that out at that time. Okay. Okay, sounds good. I'll take that to her, guys. Thank you.
Did we decide though if we needed anything down on that, or if we're gonna do it in thirds or fourths? What did you decide?
I'm gonna price it. Like I said, shooting from the hip, if we did a new, water tap, I mean, it's pretty good chunk. We have setters in stock.
yeah, it'd just be a set.
It'd be primarily labor to do it, so if we got a little bit of labor on it, but yeah, the setter itself, I'll be honest, I don't know what the price is of them right now. I
I
haven't
bet
purchased
they've
any for a
gone up a
while, but,
I wouldn't be surprised if the setter's not $200, $300.
I'm thinking 250 to 300,
Yeah.
but,
I wouldn't be at all surprised.
so like I said, I mean, if we added it at $400 or so and she wanted to come in and pay 300 of it, I wouldn't, that takes care of the setter itself. Our labor's our labor, but it wouldn't take much to dig it out and do it. It is a deeper one. I think it's down about 2 feet, maybe a little bit more than that, but it wouldn't, there's nothing else there that would get in the way of it, so.
Is it one of the little concrete ones?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yep, I'll let her know tomorrow about that and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. Yeah. One where we can reach, maybe bring it up a little bit closer, where Ron can reach it.
Jamie, I didn't bring it.
I wasn't gonna say that.
I didn't bring it up earlier because it's not on here for approval, but do we need to make a motion to accept the, text message meeting as well, or is it attached to something else
Oh,
You
for the
need,
vehicle?
you need to.
Okay,
That's-
then, she's got it as 4-1, the text message from Mayor Alderman about our vehicle. Can I have a motion to
I'll
approve
make
that?
a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor? Alright.
see, for one new business.
It's right underneath.
Yeah, I have batteries, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I like those little ones. I think those, are those for that?
Yeah, they all go here. They're spares. When this one gets low, I'll swap it out.
Swap it out.
Place into there.
All right.
Does it have a cord you can just plug it into it directly or no?
So, yeah, I could plug it into the wall.
As of
Okay.
right this moment, we don't have any ordinance or resolutions, on the agenda that takes us to, new business. And on the new business, we've got, listed the general funds, public safety sales tax, and the online purchase tax, sales tax, I think it is. Both of those were items that I had listed on, possible actions or future actions that needed to be done to help the, city's finances instead of just going 5% each year or whatever on our utility. This would provide an additional source of income that we have. So we'll start with the general funds public safety sales tax. This would be something that would have to be put on a ballot. Being public safety sales tax, it would basically cover, police and the animal control. I'm not sure whether we can word it to include court, but it's to offset the cost. It would not affect chief's public safety tax from the county, because this would be one that goes into the general funds, to help the general funds compensate.
So this is a proposed tax increase for,
Yeah.
Right now, the city
For
sales
sales.
tax.
Sales
Right now, the
tax.
city sales tax is at 2.5%.
Yes.
They can go to 4.5 or just above that. Like Granby, for example, is maxed out at the 4.5 or whatever the max is. And they have more businesses, which is why their income's better. But our only way to increase sales tax or funds, which is general's way of making money, is to either increase our tax or get more business. And right now, we're having trouble getting more business. I can't even get, I've tried 2 Sonic places and can't seem to get callbacks from either one yet. And, they're the best suited for a small town, quick type place. I don't know, you guys got any ideas on the thing I gave you? I gave you kind of what I thought would be an estimate. I can make copies if you guys don't still have it. But this was trying to do an estimate. Here, I'll just make a copy of it.
Okay, I got mine, so.
I'll let you pass them down. I think I gave you one extra. Anyway, those were estimates based off what it looked like our sales tax income was this year. And when I, was looking at things in our budget, I'm trying to pull it back up. Our
$2,740. But if we have to pay insurance on them, it'll go up. Our expense that we're covering for the police is $160,973.52. So we're looking at a minimum of about around 165,000. And we would not have to cover all of it. I just gave you three examples there about what it looked like as an estimate. We could run it on number one. 0.75 looks like it would gain 68,850. 1% would be about 91,800. I wouldn't recommend going above 1%, but if you did 1.25, that's 114,750. And you can divide that by that 68,850 by 3, and you can see what each quarter would be. So that'd be around 23,000 per quarter percent. It's just an idea, and the reason I thought of it on that side, one is I had talked to people, and I had presented this to you last year too, but that was one of the things they said we could do, and I liked it because sales tax isn't just against our own people, it's anybody who buys things in town. So we would gain sales tax income from anybody making a purchase at one of our businesses in town. And since the majority of the people that Chief and Deshaun and Grady pull over seems to be out of town people, it might help just a little, but I don't. So, and it would be something I would have to try to call and see how do we get it added to a ballot and how do we need to word it correctly. I've never done a tax increase or anything before, but whenever it's general funds, public safety, sales tax, I think it would work. To help offset some expenses, because the state has this set now where no matter what, police department has to come out a negative, and they won't even let you, or what is it, less than a quarter of the city's revenue can be earned through police, something like that.
It's like 18 or 20%.
Yeah, so it went down again, so they're making it harder and harder to do it unless we have other revenue sources. But again, those thoughts are completely and totally up to you.
And you're absolutely sure this won't impact the other tax that we're getting from the county now?
No, it shouldn't, because that was something written into their tax that they wanted to give back to the cities to buy equipment and stuff. This would be used for us to offset our expenses, because it goes straight into the general fund, not into the police department fund. But we can check with the.
I would check, because the way I read a lot of stuff, they can twist anything any way they want, but my understanding is for the police department and the sales tax, I would say the sales tax, to me, I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying that it could create a conflict.
Well, yours isn't called a public safety sales tax, no, it's just a
Well,
public
that's
safety.
kind of what I read, I double check it, too.
Yeah, it's a different category.
I would make mention though that there may be some substantial changes coming anyway with Amendment 5 and 4 too, for that matter. It's gonna change our tax life a lot. goes through, and the way it's worded, it looked like it's gonna go through. So when they do that, means they're gonna tax everything. And we're just gonna be right on top of them. So,
Yeah, but
we're gonna be taxed probably somewhere in the 12 to 15% range. Now, then,
without paying income tax, or, property taxes and stuff like that, right? Is
Right.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
but I would say it's gonna be expensive to go buy a hamburger or whatever.
I know, and what I'm worried about is our only two actual money makers are water and sewer. The rest has to come from
Understand?
tax of some sort. So
Or
we're
cut
either
expenses.
gonna have to, well, you and I sit there and we cut and cut and cut, and you just said it yourself, we cut meat, we didn't cut fat, so.
Well, there's still some more.
Yeah, there are some things, but I just wanted this, and Amy brought it up, on my behalf, so that it would be on the agenda. I don't know what kind of a time limit where we would be on to get it on our November ballot. But, somebody else may know more than I do.
I do not know more than you do, but I'd like for you to look into it. Go ahead and call and see when we need it. When we need to do the paperwork to put it on the ballot. It might be too late already,
Yeah.
In November,
yeah.
The next election
getting
would be
real close.
April again, wouldn't
we're
it?
real
Well, we got
close.
August election too.
Well, or is there
You- are you-
there is a November
You know
election,
what our
right?
line,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had asked her the last meeting.
it was getting pretty close.
And I think
For
that
August or for
For
November?
August is a no-go.
Oh, August ballot's already.
And I
Yeah,
think that
thought
they were
August was
actually-
gone.
I
Yeah,
believe that they were
that's
actually
for now.
working, we were speaking in that last meeting for November, so
Yeah.
it might be, I can call tomorrow and ask her whether,
Find out if we can put it on November, or if we need to put it on April, you know?
okay.
That might let us find out whether the other passes or not.
Yeah, well, I bet it goes through. Go look at that one.
Well, and the rest of
No
it,
way to do the taxes.
any other comments or anything like that? So you just want to postpone this issue then?
Yeah, I think we should get more information and when we can put it on a ballot or anything like that, so. It may not be till April, like everybody's thinking, so.
What about the online?
That's on the ballot too, and it's been on the ballot too.
Is that something that we get benefit from, or do we have to be the initiator?
Right now, we do not get anything,
Right.
at least I don't think we get
I
anything.
don't think we do,
We-
but what does it take to get some?
You'd have to put it on the ballot
And they'd have to prove it.
and then get approved, and then somehow or another, the system itself recognizes where the purchase was made, and then the sales tax would be applied to that, which means we would get the city sales tax of 2.5%.
So that would be people within our
Area.
municipality buying outside. I thought
Well-
you paid taxes at the location it was purchased.
When online, it's the buyer's address that triggers it,
Okay.
and that's the only thing that triggers, sales tax,
Yes, sounds.
The online sales
Yeah.
tax is at the buyer's
yeah.
location.
It's added on to the buyer's cost, whatever it is.
And you do online sales now, right? And there's
No, no, it wouldn't impact me at all. Man, I'm, you know, I'll say you know why. She never sold anything to a Diamond resident, and the whole time she's been doing this, so it won't matter. Cause I know I shipped them all.
I don't even know what you sell, I just know that you have to make lots of
Yeah, I
trips to
do.
the post office.
I'm ready to retire.
So, again, are you,
I would actually like to see this put on the ballot. I mean,
Yeah, I would
it'll
too. I mean,
greatly
honestly.
affect my family because we purchase everything online.
I know a lot of people are buying Amazon stuff
Yeah.
right now, so
What percentage would be looking at?
it would be the city sales tax.
Just our standard,
Yeah.
what we have now.
2.5%.
Yeah.
It's not an increase in taxes, it's, you just now have to actually pay the tax.
Mhm.
So right now, if you order from Amazon, you don't have to pay city sales tax. Overtax our people, I'm trying to think realistically, if we can't get any more businesses to come to town, we've got to come up with other sources of income.
I think this is really a good move. I mean, I'm an anti-tax guy, okay? I'm just
So am I.
on record. But,
It's killing me.
but what's happening, I mean, we're seeing a total shift in people's buying and it's not necessarily brick and mortar anymore, but there's still a lot of purchasing going on that's not being captured.
Yeah,
I think it would be wise for us to.
It'll be tough to get it by the voters,
Yeah.
but hopefully,
Nielsen just did it, didn't they, in this past year, I think?
I don't know if it passed, did it pass?
I believe so.
No.
No, it's.
Oh, it did not?
They're not.
Nope.
No, but they had other things on there too
Yeah.
that didn't pass, that they were trying to raise funds for too, so.
I think this would be better, more likely to pass than the general public safety
I
sales
agree.
tax.
I agree.
In both ways, we do gain some tax dollars towards sales tax, so that's the whole purpose of those two, is to try to increase the sales tax portion of the income. The first one just earmarked it so that it would have a set use, so.
So, I make a motion to, what,
We can try, we have to see if we can get on the agenda, or on the.
Yeah, let's see if we can get anything on the ballot first.
Well, are you guys in favor of doing it though? Because if you're in favor of doing it, we can make a motion to move forward with, placing it on the ballot, and then I can just find out when we have to place it on.
It might be November, it might be April.
I'd like to make a motion to place this on the ballot.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive? And can I ask you guys that have been alderman and mayor before, where do you guys usually make contact to ask on like the sales tax and the, election issues?
Oh, the county clerk.
Yeah, like I said, you're
Yeah.
county clerk.
So the
Yeah,
county clerk can
she's the
answer all
election
the.
authority.
Yeah,
She
if
can always
not,
point
they'll
you in the
direct
right
you to
direction.
the-
Tammy Owens?
Yep.
Oh, Tammy, I don't know. Renfro
Right now,
Owens,
she-
something like that.
Cause I think county clerk is one of the things up for election this time around, so. I didn't know if we had another department we had to contact for that particular thing or not.
She's been pretty good about saying, oh, you need to contact this instead, or whatever.
All right, and that takes care of new business. The old business was the city administrator position. this was also on my list as a, possible place because, the $50,000 salary and 25,000 benefits is 75,000 of the 80, whoa, get back down there. 80,600 and something, 80,685 general is in the hole without any additional revenue.
I'd like to make a motion to, repeal that ordinance until such time that the city can afford it.
We have a motion on the floor, is there,
We need to discuss it, you know? Because I'm just totally against repealing it. To me, it's absolutely necessary. I mean,
Could you elaborate?
Yes,
Because I would like to hear what you have to say.
I've come and said at this meeting for the last 9 months and asked for updates on stuff, and it's not done, not done, not done, not done. If we don't,
you asked for updates on one thing and the same city alderman
okay,
kept
well,
saying
no,
about that.
Annexation, how we be, we're gonna build 100 and some houses out there. You know, we made it real clear at the time, the board then, I mean, I was there, I'm the one that even said it needs to be made a priority. I don't think anything's been done on it, annexation out to the end of our water line. I don't think anything's been done. You know, the actual position of city administrator has been open for how long now? 4 months, 3 months, I don't know, whatever it is.
Since
February.
And we've had people that applied, and we haven't done anything on it. And Jerry, you even said at one time that you had someone at school that was interested, so you wanted to wait and
She
see.
got a job.
Oh, okay, yeah, but we needed it then, but we don't need it now. The continuity of operations from mayor to mayor, I mean, it's a new person learning the job, and that's understandable, I understand it. But we don't have the continuity that we need, I don't think. And it's just like on the reviewing of the ordinances that we've got, the job positions. We started on that months ago and it's not done, not done. There's just so much, it's not getting done because either we don't have time or we don't have anybody doing it, you know? If you look at our ordinance book, I'll bet you 80% of it needs to be updated. Who's doing it? Nobody. It's just falling through the cracks, you know, there's nobody doing it, you know? If somebody can sit here and tell me, yeah, we can do all this, we can keep it up, you know, hey, fine, get rid of it. But it is not happening, and it has not happened in the 3 years that I've been sitting on this board, because there's nobody to do it. Nobody has the time to do it, you know? That's why we approved that position,
Yep.
for continuity, I mean, and to get stuff done. I mean,
Just like all these projects we've had going on that from 2012 till, you know, up to here, they still haven't been completed. So,
and when you say that this 75,000 is the reason that
I
we're.
didn't say it's the reason, I said it's part of it.
Okay, part of it. Well, there's a lot of reasons part of it, because we're spending too much money everywhere else too. But we need to spend money in certain places, no doubt, you know? But we need somebody to oversee all of this and get it on track and keep it on track. I don't know, I mean.
Can I wasn't a part of all that's taken place, but I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it necessarily. But as far as the continuity side of it, why, when we had the position was filled. So what happened?
Well, he resigned, you know. Read his letter of resignation to see why he resigned. It was his choice. You know,
Well, then that get, I mean, back to my question about continuity. There's no guarantee that we're gonna have continuity
No, of course not.
with the city administrator.
of course not. You know,
I mean, we have a case in point, the very first one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that.
So I
Stuff's
mean,
still
I
not
guess
getting
when
done.
you look at the price for continuity
Mhm.
and the price for following up on projects, what's that worth? I mean, is it worth $75,000 a year? Just, I'm asking a serious question, I'm not trying to put you guys on the spot, but as far as the value of what we're getting, is it in your mind worth that?
I think it is. I think that if we have a code book that thick, and probably 80–90% of it is not current,
If
something
it
needs to
was
be done.
current, does our lives change?
Well, I would hope so. I mean, at least we'd be following current, whatever it is that needs to be changed, you know, I don't know.
I mean, there's lots of laws on the books.
I'm sure.
That our lives
A
aren't-
lot of them need to be changed.
A lot of them, I
And
mean,
none of them's doing it.
aren't necessary, and our lives aren't adversely or inversely affected. I mean, you pass a law, doesn't necessarily mean our lives are better because of it.
It might not be, might not be.
I'm with you on keeping things current, but I'm looking at the cost benefit side.
Mhm. It's just like the court system, you know, like I said, we're paying for that twice now.
Say that
I don't
again.
think
The court system, we're paying for that twice now.
I don't think we're paying for
We
that.
sure are. There's no way of denying it. If we don't have our city court, it goes to associate circuit court, which we are paying for. We are paying for that already. You know, it's not, they don't charge us for sending people down there. We get charged already paying through our state taxes for the judge's, salary. The county, takes care of the other stuff that we're already paying for. So we're paying for that twice, for that, to have that city court. You know, well, okay.
I would like to point out that the ordinances are actually the city clerk's responsibility.
Well, she doesn't have time to do it because of all her other stuff, you know? I mean, she doesn't.
As the keeper of the ordinance, as the keeper of the records, it is her responsibility.
Oh, I'm telling you, she doesn't have time to
I'm
do it.
not saying anything against you, I'm just saying that
Go ahead, Amy.
Actually, when I came into this, there is ordinances that leave a misplaced, don't know where it's at. There was just some that was here and there. And from when we came in, I have now collected and I send those in. You have to send them in every January and every July, and they upload them and keep them records. So since I have been here and since Mayor has been here, all these ordinances and resolutions, they are
You're talking about like on the E-ordinance.
E-code,
Yeah.
but it's
yeah,
also in the books. So
Yeah.
before, they were everywhere scattered, and I have no idea, missing everywhere. So, but I can say, since Jerry and I have been here, and when we have been doing the ordinances, everything that we have passed since we've been here is put in E-code and in the books.
as it should be, thank you.
You're
We
welcome.
just haven't got updated copies back.
Yeah, so, and we're just waiting for them to send us that, but
Um,
we just don't know prior to us.
And your thing about the annexation, the person you put in charge of that was the city administrator, and he's
No,
came back
okay.
with nothing, and I came back with at least the steps that need to be taken, and just,
I guess that's one way of looking at it. But I look at the mayor being put in charge of it, Jerry. I'm just telling you that right up front. You're in charge of the city's functions and you got,
wish you guys
you know,
make
take
up
the
your
blame
mind
for
on
it
that.
or not. I mean, it's the mayor, the ultimate person that says, you do this, you know? I just think it's absolutely essential we have the city administrator. I mean, that's just my thoughts. Everybody's entitled to their own.
What do you think?
I agree, that's one of the reasons I came in March, the meeting before, I even signed it. I didn't know what I was getting into at it at the time, so I just came in March. I wanted to come in February, but I was running late, so I came in March and I sat back there about where Nick is and sat back and listened to how frustrated Ron, Nick, and even Chief Michaels was with, they're like, oh boy, here we go, through another board, another mayor. And they seem very frustrated with all the turnovers, because everybody comes in with their own little agenda. But, and see, I didn't know what a city administrator actually did. So I went over and talked to the lady in Granby. I sat down and talked to her for about an hour. She said any city administrator with any of their might will pay for their own self. They will figure out how to come up with money to pay for their own income, for their own. So when I done talking to her, I felt pretty confident about what we could establish here. And the worst part about it is, Tanner had so many good ideas. But I think he loves Sir Coxey more than he did us, just general. Because what we found out later that he was still working in Sir Coxey while he was still working here. So he was double, you know, he was just playing both roles. We kind of gave him a little bit of an opening, and I think he took advantage of that, and we shouldn't. That was on our bad, but I think we could have, we might even got that property out there for the lagoon, you know, to spray, because he had an idea of how we can go about maybe getting it.
Who did?
Tanner.
You mean owning it?
Yeah, to where we can buy it out, to where we can still spray over there, since we already got all our stuff over there. And he had other ideas about moving the city hall over to that building, over on where the wrestling and all that is over on.
We found out though that building, the whole inside needs completely
Yeah, well, we didn't know what it was, but, at the time, but he had a lot of good ideas. So, I was kind of bummed when he gave us his resignation, because I felt like we could have actually went somewhere with it. So, I mean, I really think if we get someone that actually wants to be actually committed to Diamond and not Scroxy or wherever they're, you know, where they're from, I think we can I think it'd be worth keeping it. The city administrator job.
At the money that we're
Yeah,
budgeting.
I think it'd be worth it because, in 2012, we're still working with stuff back in 2012. It should have been done.
But that was on our engineers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, but if someone was on top of them yelling at them saying, hey, this needs to be done, this needs to be taken care of.
We haven't got last year's budget closed out, we ain't got the year before that closed out even.
It was,
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
So what?
We don't have 24, 25, 26 closed out in the books yet.
you,
25 to 26.
24, 25 was,
I'm gonna say that, 24, 25.
the audit was
should be
done,
in
and
bed.
we made the,
Because I asked, I told you and I told Tanner that it needed to be done still, and it was never done.
we even approved the stuff to, like you recommended, that the loans or whatever to,
That was for 23, 24.
no, that was 24, 25, because we couldn't have made anything for 23, 24, because I
But we
wasn't here.
But we never actually closed out that budget, nor the books, because we have, so general fund has to pay a lot of the PD expenses and the court expenses, Memorial Hall, that kind of stuff. So at the end of your year, and that's something that I was gonna talk about in my report, I need to sit down with the budget officer and the treasurer and the mayor, because we have to balance those books back out to close those books for the year. So meaning, let's just say hypothetically, PD has $198,000 that was already paid, but now we need to move the money so that it shows that they're going back to the zero and not a negative. Because if you keep doing that, it's gonna be negative into the next year. You have to close out your books. And,
But this, I mean, that's just bookkeeping.
but I need to know where you guys are gonna get that at. Do you want me to take it from sewer? I'm just saying hypothetically, you're sitting there. So
I
that's
thought
what
it
we're
was
saying.
already coming from general, just like I wrote it this year, so that it's in there this
We
time
didn't
around.
have the LUAs of last year. Or
No,
just
I mean,
sure.
all I did was physically put it in there, anything that came out in a negative, I put it as being paid on the general.
General doesn't tell me what the state or
In the past, there should have been, because you even did it after all done, we had 2,000 something left. And that was with paying everything.
if you have to pay it instead, so.
That's what I'm saying, with paying those debts.
So that was gonna be talked about mine, I don't know where we're at now.
We're still in the
Admin.
old business.
A motion's been made.
So you guys feel strongly about that?
I do.
Can I make a suggestion on it, just because what you said, James, about double dipping, positions, you know, with what Tanner did. You may wanna check and see, I don't know what, I was trying to read it backwards, I can't read it, but you may wanna check and see what the job requirements are, and if there's something stated in that doesn't allow that.
Yeah.
If that's a concern, if that's a
Yeah,
genuine
that-
concern, you may wanna look into what the job description is.
And that's a good point, that's definitely,
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and second the motion. I think that money to be spent elsewhere.
Need an all in favor vote. Those opposed,
um,
2-2 tie. And as Bill said, I see positives on both things, but I wish we knew where we had the funds to pay the position. And that's where I've been at, and then also, when I wrote opposition to the ordinance in the first place, I told you it was because, one of the reasons was because it was going against part of the state law for that. I was hoping you guys would make this.
Put your big boy pants on, whatever.
I'll be the third. For the, to, rescind or.
Repeal and rescind.
Repeal and rescind.
Do we have to have a bill drafted by city attorney?
And on my part, I'm gonna say, until we can find a way to afford the position. And we do need to come up with that, and that's, sales tax would have helped with those, but if the other tax changes, will be hard for us to get it to happen. And also, something that might help you guys in the future, and I can't say this for me, cause I'm supposed to be out in April, and I can't do anything, but you've told me that you thought I should be responsible for it, but then you also told Tanner he should be responsible for it. You told Tanner, and you told
That's the way
everybody
it
that
works,
you wanted
Jay.
somebody to come in and run this town. That's exactly your words. So, I'm just saying, you keep jumping.
You're the
back-
ultimate authority on the city as far as supervision, okay?
Yes.
The city administrator, the way we had it set up, worked for you. I mean, you can look, it even says that. So it's your responsibility to make sure he does it. I mean, that's just the way it is. There is a hierarchy, and every organization has it. You're at the top.
Okay.
You're the boss.
That's on video now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
with that said,
Of course, you answer to the board, but.
well, the board, on the big issues, and I'm the fifth in case of tiebreaker. But, you, you're,
Vote was
pa-
yes
you're,
on his part, then? You broke the tie, right? It was yes, okay, okay.
but you might consider, it might be easier for you to retain some of your mayors if the salary for the mayor was, I mean, $8,950 for part-time isn't very many hours part-time.
That's why we need a city administrator, but that's
But,
gone now.
no, but I'm saying if you were to increase that for a future mayor, you might have better luck at retaining them, even if it's, enough to cover like 20 hours a week or something, or if you want them to be full-time. But there, it's a whole lot easier to do everything that everybody wants done and to take care of everything that you want done, if the person is full-time. But I'm just, those are just thoughts, and I can't do anything for myself, and I haven't decided yet whether I'm even gonna consider, anything past April. I just, I've tried to give good recommendations, tried to help out, and sometimes people listen, sometimes they don't, and sometimes it seems like things jump back and forth, and that makes it really hard. Okay, no upcoming events, trainings, water superintendents, did you include reports in the things, right? They're in there? Cause I knew some of them, because of the date change, just put them in, sent them in today, so.
Ron's got a stomach bug, so if you guys got any questions with this report.
Yeah, he did not want to be ran out. And anybody on water? Wastewater, do you have anything, you got a couple of things.
Yeah, I just got one thing there. I gave you guys a paper there from, Forest State Equipment Rental. This is Rodney Allen. Rodney and his brother Travis own the trailer park here in town on North Main. They reached out because Granby, essentially is gonna lease one of these pieces of equipment from him. He didn't know if we'd be interested in that or not. Basically just kinda cold called us, went down, looked at it, it's a nice machine. That price, that $2,200 there, that's a monthly lease for 24 months, if the city is interested in that. That takes care of basically everything other than any wear items. If we were to wear the cracks off of it or a cutting edge off the bucket, obviously that would be our responsibility to replace. But I told him I'd let you guys see it, you know. I did my part on it, so. It's a nice machine, but
Do we have a need for it?
it would be handy for cleanup, it'd be handy for intersections, snow removal, stuff like that. I mean, do we have a need? Not necessarily, and,
So we're
if-
looking to save money.
well,
We're not looking
and that's,
to spend it.
I agree with that, and if we were gonna do something like this, if we were gonna get rid of some stuff and go this route, my recommendation would be to buy one.
Buy one.
Where you could take it on a 5-year note, and that payment would be $900 to $1,000 a month, and then we, you know,
That's right.
like I said, I did my due diligence, I put that before the board, you guys seen all of that, so. But I do know Granby's actually picked one up. They're gonna do that type of deal,
Borrow.
right?
One of the only advantages to the skid steer too is you can change out the blades and
Yep.
stuff on the front, right?
Yep.
Instead of forks and.
Yeah, you know, the handy thing on it, like the mayor said, you know, you've got interchangeable
Blades.
buckets and stuff for the front of it, but, you know, forks, auger, that kind of stuff, but, just a quick deal, I won't keep you guys Craig Daniel reached out to me, about a month ago. Craig Daniel and his mom Iris, they have the property to the west of our irrigation field. And he wanted to know, he's asked several times for help on different things. Cleaning fence rows, doing this, doing that, but, he wanted to know my thoughts on, if the board would be willing to partner to fix his fence. I've got pictures, or I can take anyone out there to go look at this thing.
Fix his fence.
Fix his fence.
It's a shared fence.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I know you're familiar with it, but yeah, it's, to fix his fence, it's,
Well, our cows aren't gonna get out.
It's
correct. That's how I feel about
I was
it.
gonna say, is that the one with the cows you were telling me about?
Yeah, and right now, as of this morning, there was, I think we had about 23 over there right now.
Can I ask how many fences
1,500 feet.
and
That's
how many
that's
posts
6
are-
wires, and depending on how,
So he wants to rewire it too, and
well, the poles are,
They all point east.
yeah, the poles are all leaned over because the cows are starved. It needs taller poles, so you need, you 7-foot poles, obviously, and, they're probably 8 foot apart, give or take, so. And I don't know if anybody's price poles, but they're about $7, $8 a piece.
Yep.
It's not pretty,
yeah.
They're expensive.
It's not
but,
cheap for those little clips even
Yeah.
to go around each
but,
wire.
I'm of the deal that kinda like Dale stated, that it's not our cows,
Oh, my
you
gosh.
know?
Put electric
We're
fence
talking
on it.
about where we aerate the.
Well, on the city property,
Yeah, on the
where the
city.
lagoon is,
Oh, okay,
on
this
the,
side.
yeah, on this side, but the
cows-
south,
The cows are getting onto our property.
Yeah.
but any
So
more
he
than I,
wants us to build a new
Yeah,
fence to
build a
keep
fence,
his
yeah.
cows on his
Dog
property.
town and.
yeah,
people
you know,
all there.
hey, if you guys gave me permission to go rent a pound pen and just sit it out in the backfield, I bet you'd fix that fence pretty quick,
Real what?
a round pen, like a portable corral.
Yeah.
If we just set it out there, like we were gonna load his cows up and do something with them, I bet you'd fix the fence, but that wouldn't be very neighborly, so, but,
And I think part of the reason it's sagging is because we did take out some of the trees that were helping hold it up.
yeah. Yeah, over the 10 years we've been here, the fence row's been cleaned out, and they were assisting in the aid of keeping that fence up and down, and that may or may not have been one of the,
That's why I asked how
one of
many,
the helping factors of.
It wasn't in great shape.
that's
Yeah.
why I asked how many posts it would take to do it, but if he's gonna rewire,
Yeah, it'd be a full new deal.
Now, tell me something, used to be, if you own a piece of property here and here, and let's say the fence went from there to there.
Yep.
As an example. The guy on this side owned and was responsible in court for the right or the left.
His side of the fence, yep.
You walk up to it.
But,
I don't know, maybe I'll tap it and do it whether we want to or not.
well, but I do know the thing is that we don't have cattle to keep in.
Yeah, but I don't think that's spelled out in.
Just time to buy electric fence.
I mean, I'm against it,
That'll
I
get
gotta tell you,
Again-
I think that it was pushed.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it to your guys' attention. He hasn't pushed the issue, because again, this was brought up a month ago, and I explained to him, said, hey, let's get through budget, let's go through the fiscal year, the changeover, and then if you wanna come in and visit it, then by all means, but, so like I said, I'm just bringing that to your guys' attention, but anytime you wanna go out there and look, let me know.
We
'cause,
already cleaned the fence line.
But this morning, there was 23 cows on our property, just what we could see. I've made it I've made it a deal to take pictures every day, and I just keep tabs on them. I've got a date code on those photos, that way if anything does ever occur, this goes back a couple of years, so,
Yeah, I remember you saying you're taking pictures and making sure
yeah,
for our safety, if one of them cows go where they shouldn't go.
yeah, so. Other than that, Alderman Tomlinson, she brought it to my attention last week about the HVAC unit at Memorial Hall. They had senior lunch over there on Wednesday, and it didn't drop below 77 degrees. check the unit's working as hard as it can.
Yeah,
Is it-
midday when
Yeah.
we had a record crowd
Yeah,
last Wednesday.
and, you know, to fix that, you know, you've got some options. It'd be, you know, insulation, overhaul of the windows. If you wanted to put a mini split in the front side of the building to help do that, you know, that's always an option as well, but it is what it is at this point in time. We can get some fans to help circulate air, if we wanna do something like that, but just wanted to bring it to the board's attention about that too, so.
I appreciate that. I might bring fans of my own on Wednesday.
I'm sure we could get some box fans to put in over there, that way if they did disappear, it's not on you, but they're cheap. You know, we can put two or three around just to help.
Is
Everybody be yelling at each other.
the unit running all week or just when we know it's going to be used?
Typically, it's turned up during the week, it's on all week,
Yeah.
because I
Just
don't
to
know.
Keep it below a certain.
Correct, yeah, I don't know when that thing's rented, when it's not rented, I'm never, we check it on Tuesdays primarily before the senior lunches are, just for paper products and that kind of stuff, but,
And then we turn it down in the
Mhm.
morning to 72, and then I turn it back up to 76. And everything's over with.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen
Yeah.
to both places.
yeah, we've replaced the air conditioner.
That was
Yeah,
one
the
of
whole air conditioner?
Yeah,
That's
that's
it,
what we
wow.
said.
The egg coil and everything.
Amy says they go over in the morning of,
Yeah, just air conditioning units.
So we did put a new air.
We put a
Yeah.
new, yes.
Gilbert brought
Amy
it.
says they go over the morning of to turn it down to 72. I think what you're gonna need to do, cause I had to do the same thing at the church, set it to
Night
kick
before.
on the night before or the afternoon before, because a building that size is gonna take way too long to,
Do we have a programmer? Well,
it's not, I don't think.
It's not programmable, no.
well, maybe we ought to do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, Put
If
a
you-
programmable stat in there and have
you
it
can
come
have
on.
it.
On that lunch, is that once a month?
Once a week.
Once a week.
Once a week, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
It was
now.
Fridays and then Wednesdays.
And then again, I don't know what the weekend schedule or the nightly schedule is on the rental of it, I don't know, so. It usually it stays on, but we usually take the temperature and raise it up.
So there was a new unit installed.
Just a
Is
cooling
it
unit,
properly
yes.
sized?
It's what was in there.
It was a
Yeah.
replacement of what was in.
It was the replacement for what was in there
So
at the
did
time.
Gilbert say it was the right tonnage?
For the square footage, yes.
Okay.
A lot of that,
So you're thinking we have loss?
we've got a lot of
Windows.
Yeah,
I think
you
there's
can blow
some
through the
big
walls.
windows
Yeah.
on
That's
both
all
sides.
possible.
Ceiling tiles are that,
It's your wall.
insulation, I think. It's-
Yeah.
There's no insulation?
not in the ceiling, it's all drop ceiling, Dale. And,
But there's a wooden ceiling above it.
well, there's portions of wood ceiling above it, it's fallen through over time.
You don't
And
wanna
like
stick
the
your head
blind-
through it.
There's some places that, some windows don't have working blinds.
Correct, yeah.
And so the sun just comes in.
It was brought up with, Mayor Howard about doing some lines and stuff over there. And, I got her some measurements and that's kinda where it's set. But the windows are old single pane windows, yeah, I mean, it's just, she's an old girl.
You can hear the windows running.
Yeah, she's an old girl, you know, some blinds would help it significantly, but blinds aren't cheap right now because those windows are probably 8 foot tall. Are they 6.5?
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
six.
they don't have to be though, if we want to,
Yeah, if we wanted to do something with
we want to
them.
buy some standard windows that fit the hole,
Mhm.
we'd have to put in the hole, put some.
But, putting some blinds in just to knock some of that radiant heat down would help, but,
You can walk by any of them and then you
You can feel it. but it's,
Summertime and wintertime.
It has ceiling fans on it.
yep, yeah,
Back
it
to the
is,
ceiling is, are you saying it doesn't have a ceiling in it?
in places,
Some of the
it's
old plasters come out.
come off, there's pretty significant holes.
Is it this kind of ceiling?
Yes, yeah, it's a drop ceiling like this in it now.
It's a airtight deal, when the wind blows hard, you open the door, the ceiling tiles blow.
Yep,
Yeah,
they blow out anytime the wind's blowing out of the south and someone opens the door. The corner over by the stairs that go down to the basement, it goes,
Just to average, are we renting it out once a week on average? Besides the
The senior lunch.
Senior lunch.
That'd be, Tiffany thing.
does she have the keys or the keys still here?
She has a key.
Yeah.
So I mean, just in your
I think-
experience,
I
are we
think our-
doing it once a
I think
week?
our rentals have gone,
So plus the 4 for the
Yes.
seniors.
That's what I'd say, about 2, maybe 3 times
So
a
we're
year.
doing maybe 6
I know
to
our
7
rentals have
times a
gone
month.
down some since the event center started. People use it because it's a nicer facility, but.
And then when the senior lunches were on Fridays, that discouraged some people too, because they couldn't use it Friday night.
Yeah.
It was available, but it wouldn't be rented out Friday, so that discouraged some people when that went on too. I had several people ask me about it, and, I advised them to come talk to the board. But,
Now Memorial Hall, I think we should split it up into AM and PM. You rent it out in AM or you rent it out in PM. Like 7 to 2 and then 3 to 10. To where you can get double, because people like Fridays and Saturdays, even Sundays, you can get, now if they wanna rent the whole day, then they pay the whole price.
Which isn't very high, I don't think, right now.
I mean, is that a legitimate concern that we've lost?
Oh yeah, we lose money all the time on Memorial.
Because, no, I know we lose
I
money.
don't know
Yeah.
how much.
I know that, but I mean, have we lost the opportunity to rent it because of what you're just mentioning?
Yeah, I think some people wanna rent it, there's probably a couple people wanna rent it on a Friday or a Saturday, and if you rent the whole thing for the whole day, then nobody else has a chance to rent it.
When
So
they
you get
first-
2 people to rent on a Friday or Saturday.
When they first came, we were also limiting the Thursdays to get it prepped for the Friday, so we lost Thursday people and we lost Friday night people. But I don't know how much that is happening now, cause I don't get to see the rentals on the.
I would think that the weekends would be primarily when people would want. it.
Yeah, that's most of the time I've seen.
and it's a seasonal thing too, graduation,
Right.
holiday time when they're, but,
we can ask Tiffany to put on the city Facebook about the fact that it's available Fridays now, too.
What's a
Yeah.
typical fee?
But
What's our typical
Remember
fee?
75 and then 50 for deposit.
And we always pay the deposit back, cause, very rarely do you have anything to worry about. So, we do need to get better about going over and inspecting it after it's rented, but I think Ron and Tiffany have been going over some to clean up. So it's kinda getting looked at then, and the guys go over and do their thing. What day did you say you?
usually it's Tuesday mornings, we go by and check on things.
So,
Or
yeah,
after big rain, we go check it.
yeah, so it's getting checked, just not like right after a rental or anything like that.
But other than that's pretty much, unless you guys have any questions for me, that's pretty much the 2 main things I just wanted to get out in the open as far as my wastewater report.
Anything you know of on parks or streets, were we able to get the parts purchased for the?
Yeah, at this time, I think we were budgeted at like 26, I think that was underneath our original, what was it, like 2,800 or something?
Yeah, 2,800.
I haven't added the receipts up, I think we're around $2,200. There may be a couple little incidental things, some screws or something that maybe I didn't get. I know I forgot to get the tap columns to anchor it down to the concrete. That's minimal, but yeah, we're under budget on that. Everything's purchased and good to go on last fiscal year, so.
while we're on parks, would I be okay if I went over and put bungee cords on the trash cans at the one pavilion? So we don't have to pick up trash every time there's a storm?
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
we've got some, we've actually, Zach and I talked about it the other day about getting
I
something.
talked to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we actually thought about like either the bungee cords or the little plastic chains that we could put around it just to keep it there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
he brought that to my attention. You talked to him down at the park, didn't you?
Yeah, if bungee cords appear on them.
Okay, noted.
And next, we've been court clerk, she sent you a copy of her check to the city, in the amount of $8,186.50. Everybody good there? If you have anything you wanna add,
We got a new car outside.
and if you guys wanna look at it real quick, I apologize, but my medicine's kicking in tonight, and we're gonna either have to speed up or I'm gonna have to leave again.
Nothing new, just
okay.
a new car.
All right. Collector, she sent in hers. Water loss is approximately 14%. That number has to be estimated to a certain extent because of the way our wells are working. Our towers are working, because you can't shut them off or shut one off to do the loss, because, as the well on this side of town goes down, the water runs from the other one to fill it up, so you're in a constant flux of the two towers working almost against each other, but also to kind of balance each other. And when the city is using water, water's coming out, so it's really hard to get a set loss when you can't make the residents stop using for a day, and you can't shut down one of the towers to get the other one to get them to be tested. So you can overflow, but then you're still running water, so.
I do know, not to interrupt, Mayor, on Tiffany's water reporting, they had some meter issues that were, for whatever reason, some of those were either clerical errors, some of those may have been a software issue. I know that she and Ron have been working through a list last week, trying to get caught up on those. I think we're up to date on those moving forward. We do have a couple of issues we're gonna try to work out on that, because when you take one of these rental houses, for example, if we have a cellular read meter in it, you make that an inactive address, an inactive meter, that takes that cellular offline where we can't see it. And I don't like that. I wanna be able to see that all the time. If we're paying for it, I wanna be able to see if there's water going through it even when it's empty.
Yeah.
So we're working on that with Beacon, at this time, but I do know that last week, we had a pretty significant list to go out and check, and there were some things that were set up as empty, and they weren't truly empty, and vice versa, so, I know Ron and her have been working on trying to get a, operating procedure on how that monthly deal's gonna go with the bills going out, trying to get a count on those and make sure that everybody's getting a bill that we know that is an active user, so.
Did we get Seaver straightened out?
Yeah, that was one. I think they changed that, and there's a couple others here in town that, and I wanted to think it's just two, it might be three, that they were receiving a basic water and sewer bill. They weren't getting any usage on top of it. I don't know if that was clerical when they entered those specific ones into the system, or, you get too many hands involved and you don't know, you don't know who. I know when they swapped over to that subs, Tiffany and that girl from Rural Water, they were entering all the information together, so it's very possible that happened, but we're trying to work she can see those, she can browse that report and see what the dollar amount is. And if something catches her eye, hopefully we can address it at that time before it gets out, so.
Do you want me to go ahead with mine?
Yeah, I'd say let's just speed this up.
The first one on mine is the invoices that is over $1,000. I only have, one that came in today, that's gonna be for our city attorney. That one was, sorry, excuse me, $1,060. The next one that I have on is the profit and loss for the year, so July 2025 to June 2026. I will have, there's two different ones there. One is just the whole summary, but the second one is gonna be per class, or by the class of it, so it's fun. The next one is the Arvist cash back, $49.42. That went into the general. Next one is payroll summary, that's June, the whole month of June. And then you'll have the TAP. It's gonna be the sidewalk that they just poured. We paid the invoice 5, and we already received the amount back for that from the reimbursement from MoDOT. We just got the cover sheets and the LPA signed tonight, and the checks are gonna be sent out tomorrow. We owed them $15,943.99, and then we owed Sprouse Construction for the concrete service $43,952.60. However, once OWN receives the paperwork and the check, they're gonna go ahead and send it off to the MoDOT, and they're gonna reimburse us $52,038.50. And then the last one is expenses, covered by checks. And the only reason why this one was extremely high is because we've had the police vehicle on it, but the June expenses was $102,947.84. And I wasn't able to do any of the bank reconciliations because for some odd reason, the subs reports that we get was not matching, the numbers aren't matching the deposit numbers. So, but Mayor has some of them that he's gonna take back and see what she can do, and then if we can get those fixed, then I can close out the June.
Is that the only thing that's keeping you from closing out those sub reports?
Yeah. So for some odd reason, there was a couple of them that was check and cash that was off, but a lot of them is the credit cards. So we use court money, but for some odd reason, it's not matching what was deposited. It's like either putting them all together different days, or it's shorting something, I don't know, but I think there's only like
If
6
it's
of them.
like every other bank, it's, once 3 o'clock hits, it goes on to the next day, and
Yeah.
that's what's throwing
Yeah.
things off.
So Mayor's gonna see if he can.
Does it have to balance by the day, or can it
Yeah,
balance by the week?
That's gonna be an ongoing
Day.
problem, we can't stop that.
No, this is totally different, because we was doing really well, where we would have, everything was matching. But now, for some reason, it's taking 2 different days in her sub, so I don't know if it was put into subs 2 different days. So on the 5th of every month, that's when they run the credit cards that we have on file. Well, when you run those on the 5th, then she'll enter them into the subs. But if, let's say that everybody here decides to call on the 5th as well, well, then she enters these people's on the 5th.
When she gets her other notice on the 6th.
So it's messing up whenever the credit cards that was supposed to have been around. It's just,
That's
it's
why-
colliding together.
That's why I asked, does it have to do it daily, or can it go by a week's worth?
It goes by daily. But there was a
But
couple
then-
on there too that it was off about $124, so I think there's only 6, if I'm not mistaken, that needs to be rechecked.
So it's a reconciliation problem?
It's a report.
Okay, but it's it's a reconciliation report.
Right.
Nick?
Yes.
Is this something that Valerie can help us with?
She might be able to, yeah, that may be,
I think this is just an accounting issue.
yeah, I think it's a usage or,
It's just the software.
It's a report, yeah, I think that's probably needs to be looked at, with her. I'm not sure I understood it all
Sorry.
to talk to her about, but if Tiffany and Valerie are aware of what's happening, I don't think that's a big problem to fix.
put all three of them together on the phone and,
Yeah. So here's our problem, but
yeah, what do we do? Fix it.
it's probably not complicated.
Is that all we're, well, we've already, gone longer than I thought we would tonight, so anything that I had would wait. We've covered most of the edges of everything anyway, so, Mr. Alford, if you got anything for tonight?
Just, I'll offer another apology for being 10 minutes late.
Ms. Tomlinson?
I wish it wasn't that way, but it is.
Everything's been covered that I had.
Mr. Kemper, anything?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Wicker?
I'm good.
All right. Then can I have a motion to adjourn
I make a motion to adjourn at 8:08 PM.
in a second?